Mercedes AMG GT3 car will be making up places during this race. He needs to, because he's down there on the grid in 11th place. It means that the way the grid will line up, we'll see on pole position the car that finished up second at the checkered flag yesterday, number 33, and that will be Ye Hong Lee in the Toro Racing Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo, alongside the Audi, which finished up on the third step of the podium, but after the penalty applied, second in the qualification race, number 28, Chan Wei-an. So Mercedes and Audi will line up on the front row of the grid. In recent years, this race has been the very impressive FIA GT World Cup. This year, it is the Macau GT Cup, which has been since its inception in 2008. Darren O'Young won that inaugural race back in 2008. Will he win the Macau GT Cup today from 11th place on the grid? They're huge, powerful cars around the gear circuit. Overtaking is not simple, and that is a fairly huge mountain to climb. But we'll see if Darren O'Young is up to the challenge. David Chen's car we're looking at there, the number 28 car on the front row of the grid, but David Chen on the outside of the front row of the grid, because on pole position is the number 33 car, and that's the car finished up on the podium yesterday of Ye Heng Lee, beg your pardon, in the GT3 Evo number 33 car, but assumes the race win for the qualification race. See the umbrellas coming out on circuit. Don't worry, it's not about to rain, not by a long way. Very nice day at Macau. 27 degrees, sunshine, blue skies, and keeping the sunshine off is the reason for the umbrellas. What a collection of supercars we have for the Macau GT Cup, and how many have we got? A very, very impressive grid. 25 cars in total. For many people, this is the highlight race of a race weekend at Macau. We've taken you through the front row of the grid. Car 38, Marchi Lee. Marchi Lee in the Audi Sport Asia Team X-Works Audi R8. Car fully closed up and not getting air into the car before the race gets underway. Min Hang in his Mercedes GT3 Evo. Car 66 next on the grid. Number 9 is next, that's Sang Kan in his Mercedes. Mercedes certainly the predominant car on the grid for 2020 in the Macau GT Cup, alongside the number 36 car of Billy Lowe from Macau, local driver, electing to get as much fresh air as is possible before the start of the race. These cars will get incredibly warm in these conditions today. Bay Serling in the Lamborghini Huracan, very distinctive livery on the lime green Grid Motorsport car, alongside the number 3 car of Liu Let Car, Craft Bamboo, Mercedes AMG GT3 car. Walking back on the grid to see another Mercedes, number 8 this time, Yeo Liangbo in the Team Kinetic Racing Mercedes AMG GT3 car, alongside the number 5 car of Chris Cha in the GT4 Mercedes number 5. Super livery on that car. It's a super hotel in Macau as well, the MGM. number 95, Darryl Young. He's got quite a race to look forward to over 12 laps at Macau. Won the race yesterday and then dropped 11 places back in the stewards' room. Conversations happening between last night and today as well. It's only mid-morning this morning that result came through. We were just looking at Brian Lee in his Mercedes GT4 car. Now looking at the 68 car of Lou JY in the Lamborghini Huracan. See how busy the grid is before the Macau GT race. The Macau GT Cup, quite splendid collection of mouth-watering cars. Confirmation of the grid, the front row, 33, Ye Hong Lee, alongside the number 28 car of Chan Wei-an, right the way down the order until you get to a car that had really been the pace setter for the entire duration of this weekend, Darryl Young. We'll start down there on the 6th row of the grid in car number 95. So drama doesn't always take place on the circuit at Macau. Sometimes it takes place in the stewards' room as well. And we've got Mercedes, Lotus, BMW, Lamborghini and McLaren represented here at Macau. I'm sure you'd agree, the cars we dream of represented on the grid. A 12-lap race in prospect. I think the grid is beginning to be cleared. Very busy grid, that's for sure. And I also have a small update if you were watching the Macau gear race from earlier on. Marching Hua was checked over by the medics, and I'm very pleased to say that he was checked over and is declared to be absolutely fine, which is very, very good news indeed. Another incident to report on as information comes in was the incident that caused the race to be, in the end, stopped and not resumed. Accident between Yang Shi and Oei Fan. They were both being checked over on the circuit, and any information that we get about the well-being of those drivers we'll bring to you as well. So, all the glamour that surrounds the Macau GT Cup on display, the vibrant, colourful grid for the race unfolding around the world. And it's the final race before we begin the build-up to the Formula 4 Macau Grand Prix. Just getting news in as well. There is annually a special event before the final race of the afternoon, the big one, the Macau Grand Prix. And the special event is very often when local drivers, local motoring enthusiasts are able to display their prides and joys around the gear circuit at Macau. And unfortunately, due to the time already that we have lost here in the race programme, the special event has had to be cancelled. So we will move from the Macau GT Cup into the build-up for the big one, the Formula 4 Macau Grand Prix. The lion dance ahead of the Grand Prix certainly will not be cancelled. Very much part of the event. All goes to make you absolutely certain you could be in no other part of the world than Macau. Billy Lowe about to get into his car. The car was dropped down a little early there. Not sure he'll be too happy about that. And while posing for a photograph, they do when you drop a car down off the air jacks. Do come down pretty briskly, and if your ankle is in the way, that can be something you're very sure of has happened. It's quite a violent move when a car is dropped down off the jacks. Hopefully, Billy Lowe is absolutely fine and well, I think he was fine. Carried on posing for the photograph afterwards, after a brief retribution of whoever dropped the car down without warning everyone. And so that's the scene ahead of Macau GT Cup race. So the grid will be cleared, and in the beautiful sunshine at Macau, these heavy tyre trolleys are wheeled off. The various team personnel and the glamour of the grid at the Macau Grand Prix heads through the gate into the paddock and the pit lane for the teams, and then just the single member of the team directly involved in the starting of the cars will be left on the grid to get this race underway. So the story of this race is going to be very much watching Darren O'Young, who has been the pace setter thus far over the course of 3 days for the 2020 Macau Grand Prix. Free practice, he was setting the pace. He was the inaugural winner of the GT race here at Macau in 2008. He won the race yesterday, the qualification race, over 8 laps, but was deemed to have infringed the rules on the formation lap, of all things. And the stewards decided that the penalty for that was going to be a drive-through penalty. Well, the race had already finished, so therefore 30 seconds was deemed to be the corresponding time penalty. Various different colourful liveries. Always look absolutely fantastic, these cars. And Mr. Macau, as he's known, Eduardo Mortara, has won this race 4 times.